Hey everybody, how are you? This is Dr. Roch Herold, and I'm here with the one and only Reverend Dr. Lucy Perez. We are here on the Dare to Live Well book tour. First of all, Dare to Live Well, the purpose of the book, it's really to empower you. It's really to empower people to make better health decisions about the choices that you're making so that you can have better outcomes. It's about building better generational health habits so that you can have positive outcomes. And it's really about how do you build a good team of healthcare professionals so that not just you but your family's well-being is taken well care of. So for you, Dr. Lucy Perez, let me just introduce, not only is she the mom to one of my very, very best friends, but she also was the 102nd past president of the National Medical Association. She was the medical director of the Center for Substance Abuse Prevention, which is called CSAP. She was also the past international medical director for Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, right? Blue Phi. And also, she currently serves on the ministerial staff. It's funny because I just read an article about this church being one of the fastest growing churches just in America, in the country, right? She serves on the ministerial staff of Kingdom Fellowship AME Church under the leadership of the Reverend Dr. Matthew L. Watley. Reverend Dr. Lucy Perez, how are you?
I am blessed, and thank you for that introduction.
Listen, I think you have lived a phenomenal life. Of course, I've always, watched you from afar. Of course, through JC, our mutual connection. But, I've always just admired, your poise, your intelligence.
Oh, stop it.
I have to.
Admired you. I have admired you, and I'm grateful for this opportunity.
Oh, thank you.
Because this is a very significant time.
Yes, it is.
And here in this state,
yeah.
I have to give a shout out to my sister Angela, also Brooks, who's running for the state senate.
Wow.
And I think it's very important that we keep front and center healthcare.
Healthcare, yeah.
And
yeah, and that's why I'm so glad that the book came out in a timely fashion, because I started this book probably I want to say since the tail end of the COVID-19 pandemic.
You started this book back when you were in the Mountaineers, okay?
That's when God put it in me, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You have always cared.
Oh, man, that's amazing.
You have always cared beyond yourself.
Wow.
Not only for your own circle, but for our community in general. So.
Yeah, and I'm so excited. So I'm excited that, I'm very humbled and honored that, you came here, took time out of your day really just to interview me, and we get to talk about healthcare and talk more about the book. And I'll just let you take it away, but I'm excited to be here to talk about healthcare with a healthcare, juggernaut such as yourself.
No.
So wherever you want to start or ask me about the book or anything like that, let's have a discussion.
Why did you make the connection? I know why. Because we both have the same father. So I know that the light was put in you to bring this valuable information in a way that a community that traditionally has been left out can appreciate. And that is to make the connection. There is such a tremendous disparity between the 99 and the 1% as it relates to wealth.
Yeah.
But the real wealth is what?
Is health.
Exactly. And
so
that's the connection.
It is. And it's funny because when I decided to, come up with the title, because at first I'm penning content and I'm coming up with the title, and it was Dare to Live Well, only because I like that dare, because it kind of forces people to think outside the box and to think outside of just what is mainstream. And me as a, licensed chiropractor in the state of Maryland, of course, a lot of times, throughout history, people have always seen alternative care as, okay, it's not mainstream, it's not within the normal traditional medical model, but yet we've still seen so many, I've been able to, witness and experience so many people and families that have been impacted by the services that myself and many of my colleagues around the state, around the world, provide. But I was also seeing that so many people were not kind of stepping into a realm where they could at least, try out different things and try out anything different compared to what they've already been taught, which is to just wait until the symptom happens and, do something about it then. But if nothing happens, then, don't worry about your health. And that's so contrary to the thought of prevention when you're thinking about healthcare. So what led me to really, pen this book was just seeing the negative cycles and the negative patterns that I was seeing in families and in patients. And I had to say, look, you know what? Let's put something together that's gonna dare people to do something that's advantageous to their healthcare, right? And not just that, but do it so that not just, they're not the only beneficiary, right? It's the people that are around them. It's the people in the house. It's the people that, it's their children, it's their friends, it's their coworkers. Like, those are the people that you're daring to live well for. So that's why.
Back in the day, somebody dared you.
Yeah.
That gets all your juices flowing. Damn. What?
Exactly.
Oh, no,
Exactly.
I have to.
I almost put double dog dare at the beginning of the title, but there wasn't enough space, so I just put dare to live well. Yes.
And that's so important. But I can see just the way the book is laid out and the personal stories that you capture.
Yeah.
You connect the dots.
Yeah.
And, through your journey, you started out looking at healthcare even before your doctorate in chiropractic medicine. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. I mean, you know what? It's funny. I start off the book talking about, I was basically the sickest child in my family. If there was a medicine cabinet, at least 2/3 of whatever was in there, it was for me. And I kind of start off the book in that, and why did I start? I think that's when I really first started thinking about healthcare. I started thinking about, man, I'm sick, and my brothers and sisters, we can't go to, Disney World, or we can't go here, or we can't go to Coney Island because, I'm sick and I'm not doing well. So I realized, back then it kind of created a driving force for me to just learn more about the body, because I'm just like, man, I don't like letting other people down because I'm not feeling well. So I think that fast forward to now, as I'm a practitioner, I can empathize with a lot of the patients that, I'm sometimes their second, third, fourth, doctor and provider that they're seeing, and they've got a long list of medication. They've seen all of these different providers, but yet they still haven't been helped, and nobody's really spoken to them as a person, right? Mm-hmm. And nobody's really addressed their original concern and looked for the root cause of the problem. So,
root cause.
Yeah.
Root cause, so very important.
Yeah. Because a lot of the times the root cause and the symptoms, and that's the thing in healthcare, and that's what made me, I had just burning desire to write this book, is because many times the root cause is not always where the symptom is, and many times. What I've seen with many patients that have come into the office is that, they've been many different places, and a lot of those other places where they went were really just getting rid of the symptoms, but they never really addressed the root cause. So when I'm telling people, hey, dare to live well, it's really, hey, how can I not just address, but how can I prevent? Because we stress a lot of prevention in the book. How can I prevent this thing from taking root in my life to where it starts to take over my activities, and now I can't function normally and live the life that I want to live, because there's so much of these things that are going on that have come to the surface as symptoms, right? So yeah, addressing the root cause is key.
And the quality.
Yeah.
The quality of your life.
Yes. That's real big.
And the fact that I think in this book you help people connect the dots.
Yes.
I always hear Oprah, because I have the obesity gene. And so issues about obesity and diabetes, which we used to call a little bit of sugar, not the behemoth that it is, but really it's connecting the dots.
Yeah.
And that's what you do by allowing us to see, with confidentiality, into the experiences of your patients, and how the reader can skip some bad spots. Can skip.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you said quality of life, connecting the dots, because to me there's I think a lot of the focus, and I mean a lot of times, even when you think about it, all of the healthcare shows and the ER shows and this city med and this city ER, a lot of times I think that the quality of life aspect of healthcare I think is truly missing in this day and age. And I think that providers that provide better quality of life should be held to a certain level of a distinction, just as those that are also performing life-saving activities that are saving a life right there on the spot. Because what I've seen is that many people will choose to suffer and to live with a lower quality of life because they haven't connected the dots, or they don't know how to connect the dots, or they tried to connect the dots and they had a negative experience, or somebody told them it's never gonna happen, or something's never gonna get better, and they just believe the negative report, right? Or they just didn't have the right healthcare team. Right? They didn't have the right people on their healthcare team. So I really wanted to connect the dots, because some people, I feel like they're so close to achieving the life that they want, to obtaining all of the many things that they want to do. It's just a matter of, you know what, man, I wish you would have, maybe, if I could have worked with that person, 2 years, 1 year, 3 years before, maybe we could have avoided, this surgery. Maybe we could have avoided, this pain medication or this dependence on opioids and things of that nature. So it's about connecting the dots.
Connecting the dots. And another thing where you point out brilliantly in the book, value.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. What do you value?
Yes.
What is critical? I know one of the longest longitudinal studies out of Harvard, actually, is on male development. And it's been over 80 years. The first cohort included President John Kennedy. This is Harvard.
Yeah.
When Kennedy was a sophomore, okay? Yeah. So we're talking about all white boys, okay? No women, all wealthy.
Yeah.
All right? And this, a few years ago, it's about maybe 3 to 5 years ago, the annual report was called Good Genes Are Nice, but Joy is Better. So despite their money, despite their wealth, besides the fact that they had access to everything, what made a difference was community.
Wow.
And that's what you bring up. In Dare to Live Well. We need community.
It's about the community.
And you bring that out. What team? What is the team that you say that we have to value ourselves enough to build a team?
Yeah. So one thing I talk about in the book, it's about building. I talk about the dream team from the Olympics, right? That's where I remembered one of the best teams when I was young was the team with Magic and Jordan and Bird and So I remember that dream team from the NBA. But I said, you know what? Just like athletes have a team of doctors and health professionals around them every time one athlete gets hurt, even in any type of professional sport. Football, baseball, basketball.